What is up, my people? We are back at it again. And of course, we're going to talk about Street Fighter 6. The last three characters um, have been announced: Zangief, Lily, and Cammy. Um, which so far, from Twitter and everywhere online, everybody's obsessed with Cammy, which I mean is understandable. She is very cool, and she's also, obviously very hot, very sexy. Um, but I really am digging her new design, the short hair with the jacket, and everything. Um, it's pretty cool. And as far as Lily goes, well, let's watch the video first, and then I'll get into it. But yeah, she's looking pretty good too. Um, and then Zangief, um, the thing that got to me first was the scars, and you could see one of the scars here. How real they look. They look like scars that never got stitched up. He just left them on there because he's so um, tough, I guess, that he doesn't get any stitches. He just leaves them there to dry up, uh, which is just it's crazy. All right, so let's watch this real quick.
I call upon you, great wind.
Before we get started with this one, by the way, I've already seen these. The one thing that I kind of got my attention was at the beginning when he has the mask on. Um, yeah, like there's a character. Um, I believe it was in a comedy that I saw a while back, but it's an old school comedy. Um, and there's this wrestler. He's a Mexican wrestler that uh the thing is that the most Mexican wrestlers supposedly, if you take off their mask, they can no longer fight anymore, and they quit. But there's this one Mexican wrestler that was called the Desenmascarado, and the thing with him was that if you took off his mask, instead of him just quitting, he'd actually get madder, and he'd go like berserk mode. So this is what this one reminded me of, kind of. And he's actually built like a power lifter, which is also pretty cool. Um, Put it down a little bit so I could talk. He's built like a power lifter, right? So he has the big muscles, and the weight that goes along with it. He looks like one of these guys that eats a lot and does a lot of powerlifting. And he's I believe he's 7 feet tall or something like that, which is huge. The other thing that I've noticed too is that he's very like he's doing a lot of showmanship stuff, which is very much similar to. By the way, let's see if we can back it up a little bit over here. Back it up a little bit. Look at let's see. Yeah, look at Honda's head, bro. Look at Honda's head. E Honda's head, bro. He's dead, bro. Like, there's a reason. By the way, I was gonna say, I don't know if I've said this before, but there's a reason why a lot of these pro wrestling moves are actually illegal, like to do. They could fake do it in professional wrestling, but if they manage to pull off some of these moves in real life, you could literally kill somebody. Like, just make him land on his own head like that. It's crazy. He says my beautiful body is built better, which is sounds like him.
I call upon you, great wind. Toino Ikonoi, spirit of the wind.
The one thing that got me, that
Let your
there's so many
spirit
things
go.
about Lily, that I want to talk about. She's one of the most, I guess, characters that I was expecting to look at more than any other,
Smile. Good stuff.
simply because she's T-Hawk's descendant or daughter or something like that.
The voice of the spirit, only I can hear it.
Yeah. So Lily, like, I didn't talk a lot about the stage for Zangief, which is interesting and everything. It's very, if we go back, let's go back to it really quick, so we could talk before we talk about this one. It's very Thunderdomey, right? And I think it's a steel mill, not steel mill, a steel mill, and but it looks very Thunderdomey-ish. Some of the guys in the background too remind me of Thunderdome. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, Mad Max Thunderdome. I think that's the third installment in the Mad Max series, and they have this cage, this round cage, and everything looks um, post-apocalyptic, and they would yell, "2 man enter, 1 man leave." 2 man enter. That's kind of like what the vibes for this stage, which is pretty cool. But when we go to Lily's stage, right, the first thing I can think of is Coco, right? And that's pretty much like, if you think about it, um, where I believe the devs or whoever was designing, Lily was getting most of their inspiration from. They're trying to make her very cutesy, kind of like, Coco, Dora the Explorer, and the things that these two things have together is that they take the vibrant colors of the Mexican culture and they put them in display. And the other thing that they have in common is that they're both little kids. They're little kids, right? Both Dora and Coco are about very, young kids. Um, and I think that's where I'm thinking that's where they got the inspiration for Lily. Because she's very much, she's very much falling into that type of cutesy type character design. Um, And me personally, I'm not into characters like that, like cutesy characters like Dora the Explorer or stuff like that, like Pixar Disney characters. Um, which is what I'm kind of getting the vibes from Lily that way. So as far as that goes, no, I'm not into her, but the move sets that she has, I'm thinking she has a lot of sauce, man. She has a lot of length, um, meaning she can she doesn't have the problem that like T Hawk had, where T Hawk, for some reason he couldn't reach certain characters because they were too far away. For some reason, also since he was tall, sometimes his punches would just go. And there's like a meme about it, where his punches won't be able to reach shorter characters. But Lily is just the right size to where that won't be a problem. And since she has these two weapons that expand her wingspan, um, that's kind of like the equalizer in my opinion as far as pixels go, or I forgot what you call it. But basically, what I'm trying to say is her hit range is gonna be bigger, and that's gonna eliminate the problem, in my opinion, that T Hawk had um, in Street Fighter Two, which um, never really was a T Hawk fan, you know, but I did use him, and I did kind of like his what he. Okay, how can I say this? I liked his potential that he had, but was never really there because of certain frames that he had, and just the way he was built. He was a very weird character because he was huge, but yet he had these speedy techniques, almost like he was flying. Um, and he was kind of like a grappler, but he also had a lot of combos that you could do with him. So he was kind of like a hybrid type character, which Lily is as well. Um, so as far as the gameplay goes, I'm very interested in her. The only problem, like I said, is like the design for me um, isn't quite doing it for me. Another reason for that is because all of these other characters, seem to be moving on from the stereotypes, kind of the old school, Street Fighter 2 stereotypes. But Lily still seems to be stuck almost in the past, because she's pretty much like a copy of T Hawk, only, a female, shorter, and way cuter than T Hawk. I think T Hawk, he was never even like a joke character or anything like that. And it's one of the reasons why T Hawk, in my opinion, as far as character design goes, was one of my favorite Mexican characters, um, and especially like in Capcom. Um, and the reason for that was because he was a very serious character. Even though he was stereotypical, but he was still like a very serious character. He wasn't like, for example, Fuerte, and I think I've talked about this before, where Fuerte, he's kind of like, in my opinion, the most racist character ever made, which is a guy that pretty much just runs around screaming food names. Um, it's just it's just crazy, that the character was even invented, in my opinion. Um, but as far as his gameplay goes, he was also one of those characters that was very agile and stuff like that. So, but we'll see here. Let's continue this video real quick. I know I'm going on a tangent here.
The voice of the spirit, only I can hear it.
move on to Cammy here.
Not the one we're looking for.
God damn. He did that Bruce Lee on her. You remember when Bruce Lee kicked Han? So that is it, man. Those are all the characters for Street Fighter, and that there is the post that everybody's been talking about. And I mean, I get it, you know, but I am a little tired of Cammy now. I'm Cammy overload, basically. I mean, there's so much fan art of Cammy that it's like I'm just looking at it. It's like I'm now I'm at first I was like, oh, like this, like that. I like all of these, but now it's to the point to where it's like that's enough. You know, it's enough of Cammy now. Um, but I definitely get it. You know, I've never been like a Cammy fan personally, but you know, she seems like she has a lot of good moves. Um, a thing that people have been talking about is, of course, her stretching, but like the moves that she has, um, is similar to the moves that she had on the movie Street Fighter Two. It looks very painful, by the way. And that kick there reminds me of it reminds me of I don't know, Enter the Dragon when Bruce Lee kicks Han across his face, and it's just if they could have done where his body just moved because she literally says execute when he hits him, which is really he is like killing the guy if you think about it. Um, and I could definitely see somebody dying from a kick like that. If you don't believe me, go look at Enter the Dragon. You probably look it up on YouTube. Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee kicks Han, and I know it was a mannequin, but most of the time those mannequins they make them to where they weigh the same amount as a human. And the way the way he kicked Han in that movie, bro, was like, and it just reminded me of that. Um, like I said, as far as her design, man, it's very cool, very awesome. You know, she's very sexy. I guess that's if we're gonna, you know, talk about these characters and what they exude, or like the presence they give or whatever. You know, it's definitely, you know, um, I would say Cammy is sexy. Lily is cute and adorable. You know, uh, like a little girl, right? And then Zangief is definitely like the badass character or something like that. Like the well, not necessarily badass character, but like the I guess boyish character or something. No, not boyish, not boyish. No. Like I'm tough, you know, like a jock type character or something like that. But anyways, guys, these are the characters now. These are all the ones that we're gonna have now. Um, you know, so I think it's 18 as one. Let me see if I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, it's 18 characters. Um, and and these are going to be the ones that they're going to launch with. But obviously, there's I believe four that are left. I think it's Akuma for sure, right? Rashid, right? Rashid, um, the female poison character, the one with the nails, and the other guy who I forgot his name. He's like uh, a ex Shadow Lu, character. Kind of like he has these powers like psycho power, but he's also a boxer or something like that. Which he was from Street Fighter Five. I didn't play Street Fighter Five that much, so he's one of those characters that was in Street Fighter Five and he's coming back. Right. The same goes for Rashid and Akuma. Akuma always comes back. Now my question is, we still got time to kind of wonder who's going to be DLC or and who's going to be unlockable, if that's even going to be a thing, to be unlockable. Um, I think, I think you can make Akuma unlockable. Um, I don't know if they're gonna do that, but that would be cool if you like, you find them like in a cave and that becomes like a new stage or something like that. Um, but that's it. These are the last three characters. Look at Cammy real quick. Um, Cammy is a member of the British Special Forces until Delta Red. Distinguished herself in the operations against Shadowloo, which Shadowloo is dead now, I believe, from what I hear. Um, with she shares a fated connection. So I think she was one of the dolls. That's what that means. Hyper competent, but somewhat moody. Currently works at HQ. I don't know what that means. HQ. I think HQ is headquarters. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, she hates everything. And she's grumpy. She likes cats. She's 5'5", and she's 103 libs. Look at some of these over here. She looks very cool, man. And I like how one of her gloves is extended, like long, and the other one is short. And she's very like punk rockish, like. The stage is pretty cool too. I like how it's at nighttime and it's foggy. It's like your typical, um, British London style. Everybody in the background looks cool. It looks very good, by the way. Like the polish is looking good. Speaking of the polish, I was thinking about if this game is going to be in the PlayStation 4 or not. Because I heard that it might not be. Because it has happened before that they say that it's going to be in PlayStation 4 or in the old consoles or whatever. But then, at the final moment, they kind of back up. And it's particularly because of, like, the resolution doesn't come out as well sometimes in the old consoles. Which is understandable. They want to... they want to put out the best product they can,
Beginning operation.
Let's move on to Lily, the cutesy character, the Dora the Explorer type character. Let's start with her voice first.
I'm ready.
Yeah, she's way too cute, man. And that's, like I said, that's probably going to be a problem for me personally to play with a character like that. But if she's good with it, if her gameplay is good enough, forget about it. You're just gonna use her, and and even like for example, like when you're building your character, because you're gonna be able to build your character too. So that's gonna be like an option to get those moves, when you're building your character. A descendant of Thunderfoot tribe, Lily speaks with the spirit of nature. So she's Pocahontas, basically. Can you paint with all the voices of the mountain? No, it's sing with all the voices of the mountain. And then it's like, can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Oh my god. Trusting in their guidance as she travels the globe. Don't judge a book by its cover. Her small stature conceals truly titanic power. She hates lies because, like I said, she's very innocent. She's very young. But she's gonna understand pretty soon that everybody lies. Um, Likes cameras, obviously, because of the taunt that she has. She has like a little taunt. I don't know if you guys noticed. She takes a picture of Blanca, and it kind of hits him a little bit. It's probably gonna take off like something very small amount. And you're probably the thing that I'm liking about Lily's moveset is that she has a lot of annoying things that you could do to beat your opponent, and that's very much up my alley when it comes to gameplay. Um, moving around, zipping and zagging and stuff like that is very, very me. Um, but but we'll see. Maybe that's just and the camera thing is one of those things where you probably get away with, a guy kind of coming off from a knockdown, and he's coming up and he's still got some life left, and you kill him with that, and that would definitely get on on people's nerves, um, as they're waking up from you dropping them. Get them getting flashed in the face. Is definitely one of those things. So, anyways, she likes birds of prey, so she likes like hawks and eagles. Like the eagle that came in, that was a golden eagle, I believe. That came and landed on her shoulder. Um, she weighs 106 pounds. She's a little thing. She's a tiny little thing. So look at the pictures here. Yeah, and look at the stage, bro. Yeah, the one thing I will say though, that like I said before, a lot of these newer characters for Street Fighter, they seem to be more evolved to be more like real people. And what I mean by that is they're more of a mixed bag. Like they can be more relatable because like nobody's just one thing, right? Like for example, Zangief is one of the old school characters, and he's just like a wrestler. It's basically what he is. He's a Russian wrestler, very stereotypical of Russians. Um, E Honda. He's a sumo wrestler. He's very Japanese. Even his stage back in the day was a sauna. And Japanese people, I believe they love their baths. Their public bath areas. And so that's kind of like the old school way of stereotyping characters, and it's a way of making it easier for you to design a character and design a stage that could say something or could say a lot about a character within a frame. What I don't like about Lily, in my opinion, is that she seems to be stuck a little bit more in the past. She still has, like I said, over here in the corner over here, you can see they still have payphones, um, which lets that they're kind of poor, right? And they got like a trailer park over there in the back. It seems like a settlement, like one of these settlements where the tribes live and stuff. And I believe this is Singing Wolf, if I'm not mistaken, the leader of the tribe. And but yeah, man, their design, like I said, it's kind of like she's still that that character. You know, she's still that stuck in that type of character, the very stereotypical character. Um, and she's the only one of the new characters that's like that. Um, but you know, and that is Lily. So let's move on to Zangief, which will be with the last one, and then we'll finish it up here. Um, Let's go here.
Show me everything you have. Show me everything you have.
I don't know why that sounds funny to me.
Show me everything you have.
It sounds like he's mugging you, right? Zangief always has like a crazy ass face, bro. And look at that scar, man. That scar right there, bro. It was a deep scar, and he did not attend it. He just left it there. You know, which is damn. What's going on here? One moment, please. Did they kick me off of the page? I think they did, or maybe I pushed a button or something. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna get back in this. Anyways, a colossal wrestler nicknamed the Red Cyclone, Zangief is dedicated to physical improvement and instructing his students. Projects. Oh, he hates projectiles and Hadoken, so he hates pretty much Shoto characters and people that just shoot balls at him because he can't get close. And which is funny because I think those characters or people that use those characters probably hate him too. But I'll tell you what, I have trouble with Zangief because a lot of the characters that I end up using, they are like speedy and they jump around and everything. Like for example, Yang, I believe his name is Yang or Yu, one of those guys. It's the guy with the spiky hair. He has a good Rekka. You know, he's very fun to play. He has this from Third Strike. And the guys who always gave me trouble was Alex, and I forgot his name. We're gonna call him Andre the Giant, but he's this big, kind of like special character. And yeah, those guys were always there. Those guys were always a pain for me because I would hit them a bunch, right, and then I would do combos on them and jump around and style on them, and then I would look up at the bar, the live bar, and they still had like more than half left. Then they would just grab me and then slam me on the ground, and that was it. I'm dead. You know, so I think they give a lot of people problems, especially like players like, you know, like the Chun-Li's maybe, I guess, or, you know, Yoon, or I think they're definitely going to give Jamie problems. But we'll see. You know, I'm just over here predicting stuff, but who knows? He likes wrestling and Kazakh dancing. He's 7 feet tall and he weighs 399 pounds. Damn, bro. The guy's huge. He has the wrestling attire on. Yeah, man, there's some crazy looking people back here. And give me Thunderdome vibes. 2 man enter, 1 man leaves. 2 man. So that's pretty much it, guys. I can't wait till this thing is out. By the way, part of the reason that I haven't been, you know, on so much is because I've been on the Oculus Quest, on the Quest, what's it called? Quest Oculus 2. or Quest 2, whatever you call it, and it's very fun. I actually got excited because I heard that Street Fighter was gonna come up with a new Street Fighter VR game, but it turns out that was a lie. It's just, I think it's only like a Japanese game that you could play in an arcade system over there, but it's not really for VR. For home VR. So that was definitely a disappointment. but but I don't doubt that in the future that would be a thing. I don't doubt that in the future they would put out a game like that, especially since PlayStation just launched their VR headset. I have the Quest 2, but I've been playing a lot of games on there. They're very fun, very entertaining. I personally think that VR is the future, but that's gonna be another video. Even though that VR is kind of struggling with sales and with making money and stuff like that, there's a lot of possibilities with VR that if we don't take advantage of, it could get lost or maybe get like another rise sometimes. But I personally think like VR is the future. Um, and to be honest, the only reason that I'm still playing, regular games is games like Street Fighter. Uh, but we'll see what happens, and I'll make another video talking about the Quest 2. Um, but anyways, guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.